brain slew, slick with ectoplasmic juice. Ecstatic energy, a fire that fuels our memory. With genealogy, with spiritual topography. Questions for your answers, we are data necromancers.
Megan, welcome. Here we are.
Welcome to the Tiny Couch interviews.
Welcome inside the tiny couch. MAWPOD lives regardless of
MAWPOD will never die.
life.
MAWPOD is infinite.
MAWPOD has a pulse. Like, I think we're 2 episodes away from our next achievement, according to the website where we host our episodes.
Thank you for being the arbiter of MAWPOD and sharing it.
It helps offset my self-employed taxes. So
good.
I mark everything that I spend, and it helps that.
Hell yeah.
But life is wild. Everybody knows this.
Here, touch finger. We are in the flesh.
We were in the flesh. It was also really nice. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to go get groceries, and I'm going to Megan's house.
Thank God.
See you later. Bye. My house is a garbage disposal of energy right now.
There's some things getting chewed on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Some things need to be chewed.
It's wild. I had therapy yesterday.
Thank the Lord.
Thank the fucking Lord, man, for... Oh, shout out Elizabeth.
Shout out therapy. Fucking...
Shout out Elizabeth.
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen her for almost 10 years. How's your therapy going? I feel like we haven't talked about your therapy lately.
My therapy's awesome. Yeah,
A good therapist is so...
No, and I feel so
essential.
grateful to have been reunited with her and to have been like nudged back into the therapy pathway by your experience. Yeah, I've been seeing Anne-Marie now since I guess a little over a year again, but then before that I was seeing her for 3 or 4 years or something. Maybe not that long, but it's great to be united again. And last session we talked about a figure called Clipboard Megan. Dude, there's like this memory that I have. Sorry, my dress is made of a napkin.
But you look like a cult leader that I would want to join.
Yeah, there's something cool about it, right? Yeah. I rented it to wear to my cousin's wedding, and it's like weird enough that
it's loud. It's a little loud.
It's a little crunchy.
Fine.
But it also makes me feel like I'm transcending time and space. But so the memory was there's like 14 or 15-year-old Megan who's like trapped in this place in the townhouse where we grew up, me and my brother. And
did you often feel trapped as a child? Like you had to stay in here and you couldn't leave, and
like trapped, and like if I'm not good, I'll somehow be, I don't know, abandoned or not loved or something. Like I need to like not make waves.
There was no supportive.
Like, no, I'm good. No, don't look at me. I didn't do anything. But so that I have this memory of not feeling well and being sick and trying to go to sleep in my bedroom. But my brother has a bunch of friends over in his room, like being loud, doing drugs, being obnoxious.
Being loud. How old was he?
Being an asshole.
13 or something?
Yeah,
16?
15 or 16. And I like climbed down off my futon bunk bed, top bunk, where I was sleeping or trying to sleep. And I go out there and I knock on his door. And I'm like, can you please be quiet? I don't feel good. And he goes, shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch.
Oh.
Because, you know, all those people were there and he was trying to be tough. And
right,
I just
so you're
like
seeing a side of him that you're like,
ew, what?
Also, if your friends are like, yeah,
what?
Yeah, crush your sister's soul.
Oh, word? She doesn't feel good? Yeah, fuck that bitch up.
Here, shout out America, or shout out, yeah, we'll just say America. I don't need to get holistic, for taking the man from every household, because
thanks
otherwise your brother wouldn't.
He had no examples to follow.
Conflate power with being a bully.
Yeah. And so I started crying. I went back in my room and I don't know, probably cried myself to sleep. And then when all those people had left, he like came and apologized. And I was like, I can't, I'm broken. I don't know what's going on. So that Megan is like trapped in that memory and feeling like nobody cares, not safe, not, there's just like nobody who gave a shit and who wanted to protect me or make sure I was feeling good.
Where was anybody authoritative?
My dad, I guess, was at his girlfriend's house and my mom was at her boyfriend's house.
Sweet.
So
cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm really
that's great.
That
Love y'all. So the way that I can heal from that is I have a new part who I refer to as Clipboard Megan. And she's like closer to my current age, and she knows exactly the appropriate way children are supposed to be, handled, respected, appreciated, nurtured, whatever. And so she goes back into the memory, and then when my brother says that shit, she shows up and she looks at the clipboard and she's like, no, excuse me, this is absolutely inappropriate. You all need to leave. You have no business being here. You need to say sorry to your sister and go downstairs and make her a cup of tea. And then she like goes and comforts 15-year-old Megan and like puts her to bed and like gives her whatever she needs to feel better. And Clipboard Megan is just like notices all the way that things are wrong and then sets them right with like confidence and power and just like authority and no fear that anybody's going to like
reject
me or like whatever, go against me, whatever. And so Clipboard Megan is so powerful and I'm so happy that she's on our team. So that's what my last therapy was like.
What happened to Angry Megan? Or do you
yeah, no,
she's
still
base?
down there. Like I'll go and like sprinkle golden love on all my parts, and I guess like ask if she wants to get out of the basement and like come join us in the library where we have like a really sick spread of like nachos and fried chicken and
pimento cheese
and crispy crunchy crostinis. And just like, you don't have to be down there, but we'll still love you and accept you if that's where you want to be. But yeah, last time was mostly they abandoned Megan and then the Clipboard Megan, the redeemer, the new protector.
Ooh, the redeemer. I like that.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
your wrestling. That's your pro maniac alter ego. The redeemer.
Do you want to get into any specific details about your parts, or do you want to?
We actually haven't done parts therapy in a long time.
You've just been talking through what's going on.
Society, mostly.
Just like trying to figure out what the fuck is happening.
Most stuff is society-based, or our lack of community, and I cannot process how backwards everything is, and how we don't foster families and children and people with young children. It's all like crushed or be crushed. Sorry. And we talk about that a lot. I talked about building my guillotine yesterday. She's like, keep talking about it, that means it's gonna happen. I was like, I need to build my guillotine. I do. Once Lydia's in preschool, game over. Big guillotine. It's gonna feel so good to build that.
And that is like an instigator of revolution.
Yeah, it's like, well, I've written 1,000 letters against the 35 expansion, and it's going to happen regardless. And all you can do is like kind of write letters, because politicians, you can vote them in and then they turn on you. They just ignore you. Nobody does anything they say that they're going to do.
We're disillusioned.
Texas just passed this fucking horrible dumb bill that most anybody with a brain is really against, where they are defunding public schools. Well, we all voted for this under the guise of increased teacher pay, but it actually wasn't about that. And I don't know how this is legal, but that proposition, it was just in the small print was defunding public schools to take that money and put it into a voucher program for private schools. So now taxpayers are paying public schools. The AISD has no idea what they're going to do with the budget cuts. Why
would we want to fund private schools? We don't even have access to them.
When you dig into who's funding this bill and how bad Greg Abbott had to fight to get it passed, because a lot of people were against it because they felt bait and switched. And it's like, okay, the libertarian guy is like in bed with the private school guys, and now I'm seeing these ads on my Instagram feed like, you qualify for a voucher. Do you want to put your kid in a private school? And I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to fucking put my fucking kid in a private school, like, because I'm just anti-class segregation. The schooling system down here is so wacky, but we have the worst public education, but everybody has tax exemptions through the homestead tax exemption. So the public schools are severely underfunded. It's a big whole ball of wax. And people I saw in the comments were like, this is disgusting. I do not want your fucking voucher. Because the voucher doesn't even cover tuition fully. So I would still have to shell out $5,000, another $5,000 on top of the voucher.
It doesn't make any sense to like, oh, we'll give people access to private school.
They already can go to private. It's like,
what?
Why are you using public funds to like, it's so corrupt. Anyways, I forgot why we were going down there. Oh, that's why I'm in therapy.
That's what you talk about.
That's what we talk about. And Elizabeth is very pro art, pro make art to process how you feel, because I do often feel very stuck on it, or I'm in an airport with a baby and nobody's helping me, and I prayed for somebody to come help me, and then this Indian guy came up and he took my luggage. He goes, I'll hold this for you the whole time. I was like, wow, praying works every fucking time.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
He was amazing. And then shortly after that, this was in the Minneapolis airport, this Indian guy held my car seat that was delicate. I thought about just ditching the car seat in the bathroom, because I was like, this is replaceable and I don't need it, and it's such a headache.
Yeah.
I almost missed my flight trying to check it because the line was so long. But he held it the whole time for over an hour. It was so nice. What a nice guy. I had to pray to get some. And then shortly after, he just appeared out of nowhere and held my stuff. A woman was like, why is nobody helping you? I was like, oh. Yes. She's like, I'm from Texas. What's with all these Minnesota people? They're not helping you. And I was like,
go.
Yeah. Yes,
she brings the positive Karen energy.
The beacon, my Texan beacon.
She's like, no, I will not mind my own business.
I bumped into a Minnesotan on accident, leaving
and they had explosive diarrhea.
God, leaving the airport with a toddler, and Erica, whose car is just like, it's just like insane trying to get my stuff in her car. And this woman goes, excuse you. And I was like, if I wasn't holding a child right now, I would maul you. I would maul you, and it would feel, you don't, excuse you. I turned around, I was like, you're excused. You are done. You're excused. And she just like pretended like I wasn't talking to her. Get me out of my sight. So annoyed.
Get below me, Satan. I was like,
that's why I left this fucking hellhole.
Why is everyone so unfriendly? That's one of my questions I bring to this session is, how do we get people to relax and see themselves in everyone else and treat everybody how they want to be treated?
We put fear on the television. We pump everybody up full of fear, babe.
But everybody's the same. I want everybody to get along.
We need to do more drugs. Everybody needs to do more fucking drugs.
Everybody needs to do more drugs and realize that I am you, you are you, we are me. Like, I know this is hippy dippy, but it's true. I've been listening to Ram Dass every morning. And
shout out Ram Dass.
Shout out Ram Dass. Fuck, dude. And I like it when he talks about his mischievous Baba, what's his name? his guru.
Baba. Neem Karoli Baba.
Neem Karoli Baba. Yeah, the lesson that I was most recently listening to is like, yeah.
Lucas took a picture of me at Aaron's condo in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And he's like, you look exactly like Neem Karoli Baba right now. And I was like, I looked at Lucas made, because we were drunk. So he made a little collage on his phone of Neem Karoli Baba and me. And I was fucking laughing so hard. I posted it and I tagged Neem Karoli Baba and they reposted it. That shit was so funny to me because it was like a drunken, like,
hell yeah.
I don't, and maybe they thought it was like, oh, worship,
like a spiritual.
Yeah. It's like, no.
It's all the same. That was how you reached out. I forget what the lesson was, but it was just something like, you have to become somebody before you can unbecome, like turn into nobody. And like, people were bringing their problems and like asking questions. And he's like, well, if you're hung up on that, then you don't get it. Like if you're letting other people stress you out because they think your behavior is incorrect or something, then you're stuck on the separateness. And I like meditating on the unity, I guess. But like people still want to cling to the separateness even when they realize the soul is all one and they are part of that one. And then like, I don't know, just like the gradations of the levels. Like my personality and then my soul.
Your ego.
Yeah, your ego. And how some people are like really stuck in grooving in their identity and their personality. And he was talking about how some societies are like, people are role based instead of like personality based. Whereas ours is like, individuality is king, individualism. Like you need to have a blue fucking book cover on your fucking moleskin notebook because it represents who you are as a person. And other countries are like, other cultures are like, I am a father, I am a husband.
I saw a preview for a documentary that is like, fuck individual therapy. Like, how are you supposed to heal without looking at the collective? And they were marketing it as like, this is going to rewrite everything we know as like Western psychology. And I was like, that was it. That was the teaser I got. And I was like, yeah, why is all therapy individualized?
Right.
know?
I mean, we exist as individuals, but we're within the larger framework.
We talked about this on the last pod, like lunacy for me can really come from trying to navigate a labyrinth that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Like which one?
The first thing that comes to mind is like, we'll go to a fancy coffee shop. We go on like a monthly coffee date or whatever. And this one time, homeless guy, no shoes, no pants, poor guy. And he comes straight up to me because I'm eating something. And he goes like this. And I was like, here.
Yeah.
And everybody on their laptops is like shielding away. And,
oh, God.
And I was like, Lucas, where's your wallet? And I like bought him everything.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
He came up to me. Well, he also didn't come up to me and go, give me your fucking, like.
Yeah, he's not trying to steal from you.
I've encountered a lot of homeless people who are very aggressive. He just went, I was like, oh, yeah, I get that. Yeah. And then I gave him stuff. I was like, do you want a coffee? And I was like, okay. And I got him a Coke. And then he just went away. He just like, and it was funny because I watched him like ping pong. And everybody was so bothered by his presence because they don't want to feel uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm looking at his shoe size and I was like, oh shit, my shoes are too small. Like,
yeah. It's like,
fuck these fucking pieces of shit.
That's the attitude that we need to adopt.
You've got a $5,000 computer rig and an $8 latte and you can't like I said, this guy wasn't being a shithead.
Right.
There's a lot of shithead homeless people that you don't want to mess with because it's dangerous. But this guy was like clearly just hungry.
Just hungry. Yeah, I just watched a video, like a reel on Instagram. I only give myself 10 minutes every hour to indulge in that sort of like consumption.
Lucas has an app where his whole phone is locked from that stuff with a QR code.
Oh, that's nice. I have something called Screen Zen where you can set up the parameters that you want to allow. And then if you try to unlock it within those parameters, it's like, are you sure you want to unlock it?
It shows you a naked picture of yourself to your mom. It sends a text message of you.
It's like, tough shit. You're not going to get in or else. But it was basically just a woman reading, like, you know, Jesus's words from the Bible and how it's like, he encourages everybody to like give people water if they're thirsty, give people food if they're hungry, give them clothes if they need clothes, give them shelter if they need shelter.
In Austin, you just get clean needles, which is like,
yeah.
I see the sentiment and I'm like, okay, what about food, water, clothes, and like, well, needles, well, then it's like whatever fucking deal they've got with the pharmaceutical company to like pump out free needles to everybody. This will stop something.
Or Narcan to stop overload. What is it called? Overdose.
Heroin overdose.
It's all incredibly complex, but I like to break it down to its most simplest terms. Everybody was born. Everybody will die. Everybody needs to drink water and eat food.
Everybody came out of a pussy. And that mom was in labor. I think about that with every homeless person. Your mom was in labor.
Definitely.
Laboring you.
Mm-hmm. I'm reading a book right now called Life Form, which is by Jenny Slate, who is a hilarious comedian. And it's about her journey going from like a pretty worthless feeling, low self-esteem, kind of depressed person, and then like finding true love, and then having a baby, and then getting married, all during the pandemic, which I thought was cool based on your experience with Ruby. But like the way that she describes her experience is really beautiful and poetic. But yeah, I don't know. I basically am just in this like metamorphosis chrysalis thing, and whenever I see somebody, like if I'm driving to the store in my car and I'm at a stoplight where there are people who are asking for stuff, I will 100% give if I have it in my wallet, cash wise, or I'll just give conversation. Like there's a guy out there who's like goofing around with a sign, and I'm like, hey, whereas like people are like trying really hard not to make eye contact, or like rolling up their window, or like driving further up so they don't have to interact with them. But it's so important to like give people their dignity and like acknowledge we're all the same. And if it weren't for whatever is different from my life, from their life, I would be in the same place. And it's easy to be in that place if you don't have a support system, which is why we need to be a support system. I'll support you.
I'll support you too.
I will support you.
Yeah, I was thinking about there's a lot of people I know in my life who are decaying mentally and physically because they are living alone, and you're not supposed to fucking do that.
I know. We need a big community where everybody who's alone can go live together.
What?
Well, when people live individually, they have to spend more money. If you all live together, then you get to share, and then every entity that makes money is losing money.
Reading about World War II bonds and soldiers coming back was the final nail in the coffin of the family commune. Plots of land where you had, all of your people and everybody kind of living together. Well, when the dude goes off to war and then comes back with a bunch of money, he's like, I'm going to buy a house in the city, and that was like, what?
Right. But it also seems like the experience of war would make you want to be alone, maybe from your...
I stopped watching my Vietnam documentary because I was like, America, we didn't have, we did have camps. You know, we did
Japanese internment camps.
We have,
oh wait, that's World War II.
Right, but we did do that in America, and we did, you know, we lock people away, you know, immigration, that sort of stuff. But when it comes, we have done some of the worst shit on earth. I mean, it's hard to compare it to people who, like, Mao killed the most people in the shortest amount of time.
Millions of people.
Like, unfathomable amounts of people. Hitler killed an unfathomable amount of Jews. Stalin! Yes. But there is some shit that we do that is just nasty. And what we did in Vietnam was nasty.
And it's all just to contain communism?
I mean, that's what they say. I just can't get over, I'm like, this is what happened when men are in charge. You're just blowing everybody up.
We need balance.
Because you can't talk about it. Because you can't say, all right, Gaza, Palestine, you know, like, let's fucking, what's going on? Just discuss and be diplomatic. And we watched the video about John Gary's progression, the human progression myth, before starting this podcast, which we haven't even talked about yet. But
we're gonna get to it.
But he talks about how we haven't progressed at all because we've replaced famine, starvation, and medical advancements with obliterating people on huge levels. And I just, like, I can't, every time I see news about a Ukrainian airstrike or a Gaza thing, I'm like, you guys can't just fucking talk about this?
Yeah, it's disgusting. And the amount of innocent
stop
people who are just being
people?
obliterated. Wait, did you see Miss Rachel's? She was hanging out with Rahaf from Gaza. Like a little, like a young, she's like a young. Did somebody
cover her in gasoline now? I don't know. Like,
I don't know what the ramifications against Miss Rachel are, but she like did a little show, like a little video with this little girl who is a double amputee. And she's just like speaking on behalf of all the children in Gaza. Like, Miss Rachel will always stand up for children because that's what her purpose on this earth is. And I think that it's so cool that she would just come out and say that, because I don't know, like, I guess cowardice would keep people from doing it if their studio was like, no, we don't want to ruffle feathers, or like, we don't really want to take sides. That's the cool thing
about YouTubers is she's like, a self-made.
This is what I believe.
I like her story too. She found a guy, and he's acclaimed Broadway music writer.
Oh, cool.
And during COVID, they fucking went broke because there's no shows. So they started a YouTube channel together, and he wrote all the songs and she sang all the songs. And but yeah, it's also weird that more people aren't doing that because it's
so easy.
Yeah, I've watched somebody in the occult sector, Jason Louv, get canceled because I see all sides. I see, like, what the Hamas did was, like, so deeply nauseating, so disgusting, so disturbing. I saw a video of them, clearly of somebody that they had gangbanged, and they were dragging her on the back of a truck while she was still alive. And it's like horrid things. I don't forget that. But Jason Louv he's kind of taken a stance of like pro-Israel, anti-Palestinian. And he does not understand how people are pro-Palestine, because he's like, look at what this fucking terror, look at all this and look at all that. And it's like, dude, Gen Zers, we're all anti-killing people is what's happening. And it doesn't matter the lineage, the history, if you would be nailed to a cross, if you were homosexual or had different colored hair in Palestine, or what their beliefs are. It doesn't matter what their beliefs are or what my rights as a woman would be there. It's just that they are obliterating innocent people, and they don't want that. So
Yeah, stop killing people.
That's what most people are. They're like, why don't you just stop fucking, you know, my Jewish friends are like against what's happening.
Of course.
You know, it's
if you have a conscience, you're against it. And it doesn't mean you're pro-Hamas.
No.
If you want...
I think that's confusing to a lot of people. Well, I'm not a Hamas sympathizer by any means, but I'm just, don't blow up babies in hospitals.
Stop all war. Like, I don't know. We don't want Hamas in control of Palestine. I don't know what Palestinians want.
I started diving into that when it was first happening, and I was like, oh my God, it's just like so massive, so deep, so many ties. I don't know. I don't have enough knowledge to speak on it any more than that, but it was just like, where's my mountaintop? Where's my Ramdas? Because like this shit is the same shit, different decade, different.
Well, that makes me wonder what is human nature?
I don't know, because it was different before I had kids, and then I had kids and I saw how deeply violent and deeply angry and deeply like they're not born necessarily with empathy. Like what I've been training Lydia to do is when she hits me, I act hurt.
Yeah.
Ow, like you're but she wasn't born with that.
Right.
She will fucking eat my face off because she's mad. And she would smash me in the face, you know, and I had to start reacting to it.
Yeah. To
elicit
that compassionate response. So, do you think human nature is base? Like primal? Like...
Here's what I
one for
think.
One, like I will survive if you die.
Everybody's wrong is what I think. Everybody's wrong. The more philosophy stuff I watch, like we watch, nobody understands how fucking weird we are.
Yeah.
Well, no, we descended from apes and this is all the evidence. And you're like, we masturbate and make scrambled eggs and we marry plastic dolls and we shove shit up our ass. We sit in traffic. We're so fucking weird.
So
but we
weird.
can't like zoom out and be like, we're fucking, how many people do you see at the grocery store? You're like, that's an alien. They're like lanky and bald and they move and they're like smelling the soapbox and then they look at you. But like, we don't ever see that. We're like, oh, that's just Ted. That's just Ted. We are superior. And you're like, no, we're not. Why does nobody see how fucking weird we are? We have songs about sex and like, I don't know, we take shits and then we throw it in the ocean and it's so weird. So I am in the camp philosophy of like, we will never understand it until we see ourselves for who we truly are.
What is the point of neutrality? From where can you stand and really see yourself?
I think you're not supposed to. I think like by science project design, I don't know why. Well, in the metaphysical realm, Earth is solely a prison for souls. It's not supposed to make sense.
Is it supposed to be a training ground?
Yes. For good and evil, right and wrong, compassion, truth, love.
Like, let's run this simulation and everybody gets to go through it.
That's all it is.
And then depending on how you go through it is what establishes the next level.
Why do you think we can't do anything beyond what we've already done? Or like, because it's capped.
We're capped. We've reached the cap.
Yes. And it's just I have the funniest fucking story that has nothing to do with anything, but it made me think of it.
Well, you mentioned the John Gray thing, but then we didn't. But please, tell me your story.
It's hard to live in Austin without being a gentrifier, because the rich lived on the west side. That is capped, can't live over there. So you spill over into gentrifying all these other neighborhoods. So I like to try to support my local business despite all of the violence. And there's not that much, seriously, compared to Baltimore. It's like fucking peanuts. So I went to a liquor store by my house. The one by that HEB off Bluestein.
Yeah.
Bluestein?
The Shep.
And Blue Balls?
Blue Balls.
And I walk in and I was like, they're not going to have what I need. But what if they do?
Yeah.
What if they do? I should go check it out.
Give it a chance.
I fucking, dude, I can't even make this shit up. Have you ever watched Atlanta? Childish Gambino's show?
Yeah.
So it was just a straight, you cannot make this up. I walk in there and there's a group of guys behind the counter listening to this song that is so loud, and it is this chick rapping about her clitoris. And this dude comes in and he's talking about what he's gonna do to her clitoris, and I like start laughing because I'm like, you don't have customers in here.
Yeah, it's like a neighborhood shop.
You don't have customers in here because you're playing this shit. You want to make fucking money? Like, maybe don't scare them away with this hilarious song. It wasn't even like R&B. It was like straight rap. And it was the most graphic, obscene shit I have heard in my life.
I wish I could hear it.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do.
Did it make you feel unsafe?
No, it was so funny. I laughed so hard because I was like, she's talking about squirting and the guy. I'm just like, what? I didn't even know that you could like choose to play this music. That's how uncultured I am. And I'm standing there and I don't know what to do because I don't see anything I would ever buy in a million years.
Yeah,
and I feel bad because I'm like, oh, I wish you know, whatever. He comes up and he's like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, how am I supposed to talk to you with this music so fucking loud? And then like the song morphs into being about hard dicks. And I'm just like, he's like, what are you looking for? And I'm just like, oh, I was just coming to see, you know, what kind of tequilas and I don't know, mezcals you have. And he goes, oh, mezcal. He goes straight to this bottle that's like lime green and it's got an alien head on top.
No.
It's usually right here. And I'm like, no, stop, don't lie to me. Don't patronize me.
This isn't true.
And I was like, never mind. That's fine. And he's like, well, okay, well, you'll come back, right? And I felt so bad.
Why?
I was like, dude, do you just not know, or is this funny to you? Or like the second I leave, you guys are going to think this shit's so fucking funny? Or you're going to be like, fuck white people that never buy anything from this store? I don't know. But, just I will never ever forget how obscene that song was.
It's a whole world, like it's a lifestyle. And we were talking about it earlier, how you can't see outside of your present conditioning, you know, because your eyes that you see with are conditioned by.
What's that called? There's got to be a term in another language for like, you don't understand, you can't look out, you can't like zoom out enough to see that above our own arrogance.
David Foster Wallace has this I don't know, like speech that he gave to this university, and he like talks about what it takes for a fish to realize it's swimming in water. It's something akin to that.
Exactly what it is, and that to me is you're not going to get anywhere until you like see that.
Well, you need a variety of experiences to expand your...
Right, and there's no other planets to go visit and be like, oh.
But I think that human beings are so specialized in different regions in different ways that just getting out of your neighborhood, getting out of your city, getting out of your state, getting out of your country...
Traveling is very important.
And
I agree.
It sucks because it's limited to people who have the means to do so. But if somehow maybe watching YouTube videos from different countries, just like exposure therapy, like seeing that there are so many different ways to live a life, and that you don't have to necessarily continue to listen to the same music or drink the same liquor, or, you know, you just have to have like an openness and a curiosity to see that it can be different. Because I don't know, I feel like if I had stayed in Virginia and not like
so different.
Yeah, like had like a curiosity about how it could be a little different.
I think about that if I had never moved out of Minnesota, all the people I wouldn't have met who changed,
it's
who
amazing.
Rocked my shit.
And it's not meant to like degrade the experience of somebody who stays in place, but it definitely like creates a sort of cocoon of comfort where you're not really trying to.
If I was president, I would alter the military and I would say you can join this federal thing, but you can travel.
Yes.
We've got large groups going to different countries, not to rebuild them, not to give them food, all these things that we do that just are patronizing and like under the guise of, oh, we're so great.
Police the world.
But like you get to travel and you get to go whatever. And then also if there were natural disasters, you go build houses, you go rescue people. It becomes like...
Is it like AmeriCorps?
Yeah, but better and like less bureaucratic somehow. Never gonna fucking
How do you use
I don't know. It's
tax dollars to do anything that's not bureaucratic or like run by bureaucracy?
You just put a robot in charge.
Is that what you want, Whitney?
At this point, how else are we gonna get out of I'm in a position of power now, so here's all the red tape that's happening.
So does the AI make suggestions and then a human council will approve or disapprove?
You mean in an ideal world, it's a Jedi Council of native mothers. Yeah, I guess in tandem with an AI overlord that just helps sustain with transparency an infrastructure that benefits humans.
I think there's something to that, like a database that has access to way more information than one person could ever process.
So in Japan, they grew mushroom fungi mold utilizing their cities, and they wanted to know if it could grow a more efficient way to the city so that they could base their subways off of that.
Slime mold.
Yes.
So
I see AI like that, and they were like, oh shit, there is a better way, because you're not going to see that without somebody else.
But that's the perspective again. You widen it and you bring in so much more information than we could ever have.
How do we solve traffic as humans? Bigger highways.
Ask AI. AI will not say that.
No, it won't. It's just like bigger highways, more lanes,
more space for cars.
You're like, what? That's your solution? Fuck you.
I don't know what the solution would be. I guess public transit.
There's so many. I'm not even gonna.
I know you're like
that topic with you. There's so many. You could just maybe build a community that's close, mixed use. Mm-hmm. Imagine having
like Mueller.
Exactly like Mueller. Start there.
Yes. So, gosh, how do we?
Also, that house across the street for rent is so cute.
It looks cute from the front. It doesn't seem like it would be
nasty.
good. I don't know why. I think Cameron and David used to live in there. And there was something weird about it, but I can't call it to memory.
It's on an ancient burial ground.
All of us are.
All right, babe, we got to wrap this up because I got a haircut.
Nice. I have a haircut on Friday. Which hair are you going to get cut?
Oh,
what are you going to do?
Well, she just says she's a Ukrainian bodybuilder.
Hell yeah.
She's just perfect in every way. She tells me to shut up, and I'm like, yeah. She's kind of like a dom a little bit.
Yeah.
She tells me when I'm taking care of my hair poorly and how dumb it is, and I'm like, yes. She used to work in movies in the Ukraine. And you can tell.
As like a stylist?
Yeah.
How'd you come over here?
She's been over here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how she came over here. I can't understand her most of the time because she's blow drying in my ear and, at the most important part of the story. But I see her because my hair won't grow unless I keep trimming it, because when it dies at the ends it stops. And
that's where I'm at too.
Maintain
bits. And that's part of being in a physical body, because we have skin and nails.
Every time I'm worried about a MAWPOD, I'm like, I don't know. Ruby fried my brain minutes before I got here.
She did. She took a firebrand and stuck it right in her ears.
I was a little worried, but like Elizabeth said, she's like, you're really starting to figure it out. I was like, yes, I'm starting to come out of my survival mode and I'm starting to like function again, which is really cool.
And then you're gonna have another baby?
I think about it every fucking day. I think about it every day because I look at Lydia and I was like, how could I exist without you?
Oh.
So what else is in there?
Oh, that's the big question.
Like Lydia, like life without Lydia?
Who wants it?
Life
Nobody.
without Ruby? I just like, those are, I don't know.
That's beautiful. I'm so glad they have such a good mom.
Oh, thanks, babe. I don't feel like a good mom half the time, but I know that I am a lot more. What? Because I lose my shit on Ruby on a daily basis, but then when I'm kind to myself, I'm like, this is torture. Like
she's literally trying to kill you all the time.
This is actual legitimate torture.
It's okay to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
I think standing up for yourself in those instances teaches her good behavior.
Yeah, she told me yesterday at Costco, she said, stop talking. I was like, oh, we're already there. All right. I hate this. Don't do this to mothers. It was at Central Market. And a woman bagging at my grocery was like, oh, this is the easy part. This is so easy. Just you wait. Like that whole thing.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, this is not the fucking easy part.
She's talking about Ruby?
I have to, both of them. I'm like, I have to wipe asses every 30 minutes. They need snacks and water when we leave. They cry about everything. They can't dress themselves. This is not the fucking easy part.
Does the bagger at HEB have like a son in juvie or like a pregnant daughter or some like
just you wait
drug addicted 12-year-old?
Not a supportive statement. I understand. I see and honor and recognize what you've been through as a mother of a teenager. But I looked at her dead in the face and I said, when they're teenagers, they won't be able to fucking find me because I'll be on a motorcycle in Mozambique.
Baby. Hell yeah.
And she goes, oh. And I was like, they won't find me. If it's as bad as you fucking say it is, I won't be gone and I won't fucking care.
Hell yeah.
Fuck you.
It would have been much better to be like,
how are you doing?
It looks very hard, and I appreciate all of the work that you're doing.
Is it that hard?
Like
Costa Rica
holy
restaurant.
Shit.
Costa Rica restaurant, fancy as fuck. Movie stars go there, whatever. So fancy. Ruby is tired. She's hungry. She's in a new space. She's done. She is flailing and throwing plates and kicking and screaming. And I'm like, I leave. And a woman comes up to me and she goes, it's going to get so much easier. She's like, I have 3. She's like, I moved down here because it was easier to raise kids down here.
Aww.
She's like, it's going to get so much easier.
Yay.
And I was like, thank you. That's what I need to hear in these moments.
Instead of, you think this is bad, just wait.
You wait.
Fuck off.
Eat a fucking butt crack. Eat a fucking butt crack. Like, I'm already so isolated and at the brink of insanity with no family support. So, like, fuck you.
Yeah, no shit. Damn, dude.
But also, it's, like, fun to be at this point where I don't care and I say shit like that to her. I'm like...
That's beautiful.
Or on the plane when Lydia was having tantrums and everybody's getting upset. I was like, I don't care. I don't care that you're upset right now. Oh, am I interrupting your little rom-com? Oh, life is so hard watching your little fucking rom-com all by yourself eating your little cookie. I'm sitting here juggling 18 fucking things with a baby who just shit herself, like trapped in a tube. Like, I just went to a funeral. Fuck you.
It's beautiful. I think it's a power to have that perspective.
It is.
You like realize the flesh prison and like the limitations of our puny human brains, and just like don't give a shit because they're stuck in judgment mode.
Help. I had to tell the girl next to me, I was like, hey, I need you to do something for me. And she was like, excuse me? I said, I need you to help me.
Please help.
She's like, what do you need help with? I was like, everything. Grab all of this, put it in that bag. She did. I told her what to do. I was like, I'm from Edina, Minnesota. That's great. Clean up my shit. Hurry. I'm sure somebody down the line will fucking pay it forward for you.
Hell yeah.
I lost my mala beads on that plane because I was literally juggling like, do you want this? Do you want that?
Damn
How
it.
about this? Here's a pound of M&Ms. Dude, those M&Ms saved me so bad.
Hell yeah. Wait, the mala beads are like the little prayer beads?
My mantra beads. I put in a little like lost and found thing, and they're like, we're working hard to find your item. I was like, no,
it's in the fucking cargo hold.
This is going nowhere.
Slipped through the furniture, so you're not allowed to adjust your seat to find it.
Going nowhere. Anyways, babe, it was a true pleasure.
Gosh, always, forever.